For the last couple weeks, I have been working frantically to try to get everything harvested and get ready for the winter. Today marks the beginning of a more relaxed pace for me. I am so excited. I am so happy that those months are past. Those months have been extremely busy. Now I can go and get ready towards wintertime with a sense of I did it all, I accomplished it. This has been a very difficult summer for me, but I got it all done. I cannot believe it. I still got it all done, even with all of the things that I've been going through towards the end of this summer. But everything is great. I have it all done, and I can't wait to show you. My pantry is finished. Woohoo, woohoo, woohoo. And wait till you see it. So today I'm gonna take you along on my day. And that is, first I gotta put a meal in the crock pot, get that ready. Then I'm going to be working in my pantry. I have nothing else to do today. Absolutely nothing else to do. I might put a little bit of broccoli in my dehydrator right behind me. I might be doing that, but it's great. I went through all of my food inventory. I went through my freezers. I went through everything, and I know what I have, and I know what I need, and I don't need anything. What a wonderful feeling. I don't need anything. I have an abundance. This has been a really good year for me. Some things in the garden didn't do so good, but then it seemed like I found other resources where I could get it. I just got done canning a whole bunch of mushrooms, so I have to put them away. But first, let's make our meal. I was going through the freezer and I found some of this beef, and it was reduced, and I paid $7 for it back in the beginning of the summer. I'm gonna go ahead and put the beef in here, crock pot. You saw me make these kind of meals before. Here is some mushrooms that I canned yesterday. This one I left open so I could put it in here. Basically what we're doing is we are just putting a lot of everything in here. These were carrots that I had with Lipton onion soup mix that were frozen. We're gonna go ahead and cut up some potatoes. Very, very simple and easy meal. This will go in the crock pot for about 7 or 8 hours. Since I have raw meat in it, I always turn the crock pot on high for the first couple hours. It's so nice to use a crock pot in the wintertime too, because for me, I'd rather spend time working on projects or reading. I really don't like spending all day in the kitchen. Most of my married life, I did that. When the children were little, I'd spend 8 hours sometimes in the kitchen because everything I made was scratch. Now since I'm older, I somewhat like to do other things. All the things I couldn't do when I had 3 small children. And that was, I couldn't do a lot of reading. I just didn't have time to do that. And now I enjoy it. So you see I'm making them fairly chunky because the meat's gonna take a while. If I would dice them too thin, the potatoes could get soggy. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to put some tomatoes and frozen onions in. All right, I'm gonna put these tomatoes and onions in because I had them left over from the freezer. I'll put a little brown sugar probably on the top in a little bit. But there you go, that is finished. And now I'm gonna go ahead and load up the dehydrator with some broccoli that I got out of the freezer. I had too much broccoli and I didn't have room for it all, so I had to get it out of the freezer because I put other things in it. I'm gonna work on the broccoli, and then we are gonna go in my pantry because I'm really super duper excited to show everybody the finished pantry, and it needs a little more work. I know a lot of people say, you're always in that pantry. Well, yes, I am. I'm always in that pantry because we eat out of the food every single day in there, and that room can get quite messy because if I'm in a hurry, I hurry and get things and I don't put things away right. So it's one of those places where it's a catch-all for all kinds of things of food, and we're gonna organize that in a minute. Let me turn this on, put this on high. Now we're gonna go over here and I'm going to So I'm gonna go ahead and do all of this. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna do any more canning this winter, but it won't be a lot of it, I don't think. I have some strawberries in the freezer that I will be making some strawberry jam sometime during the winter time. I'm not sure when. Now we got these at the thrift store, so I'm gonna go ahead and use these disposable. I'm gonna use these dissolvable little tags. Basically what I do is I write the date. That way I know which food is fresher and which is older. All right, the kitchen is all finished. Everything's cleaned up. Did all my dishes. Got everything done here. Now I'm gonna head back to the pantry and we'll start organizing back there. All right, everybody, here we're in my pantry, my favorite room of the whole house. And it looks organized, but below me the floor is full of stuff. How many times have you heard me saying that this year? Well, it is. So all these things that I have been working on in previous videos. So we have all this flour, all of this stuff. I found this shelving unit we're gonna use, but I have to change where it's gonna go. I have to move it over a little bit. Let's get started on here and then I'll show you how everything's done. So the first part of my house, everything's cleaned up, everything is done. And that's how I work. I work in steps. That way, if I get overwhelmed here and I go out there, I know it's all clean. So that's how I like to do it. Because if your whole house is overwhelming, your whole life is overwhelmed. And I like to work in batches like this. Okay, so I'm gonna get up off my amazing, beautiful rocking chair that was my Grandma Fanny's. And I used this rocking chair when I was pregnant with all of my children. It's from the 1800s, I love it. I'm gonna have to get off the rocking chair though, and I'm going to have to move everything and work. I'm hoping that this winter, this could be my little reading nook. I mean, I just love sitting in here and looking at all the wonderful things that I have done. And it just gives me so much comfort. And this is my own little room where I can go and just get away from it all. Okay, so let's get working. The thing I gotta do is, so I can move the rocking chair, is all this cherry jam. Now you see I have the rings on it. A lot of times people ask me, well, they see some rings are on the jars and some aren't. Anything that is water bath, I just keep the lid on it because it's water bath, it's high acid. Low acid foods, I try to make sure I take the ring off. That way there's no fake seal, or you don't think there's a seal and there's not. Always listen for that vacuum when you unseal a jar. You can always hear it. It goes poof. It goes, so you can hear it. But I leave the rings on my water bath items. I have so many rings, there's just no way I could take them all off. So for jams and jellies, especially if I'm gonna give them as gifts, which this probably will be ending up as gifts, then I keep the ring on. Isn't that pretty? People often said to me, why don't you just take a magic marker? Well, you can do that, but I enjoy doing this, and it's something I enjoy. I love doing it. I love printing things off the internet. This one is the pizza mix, so I want to keep that separate. So we have the bread mixes on the bottom, pizza mixes on the top. Okay, so now I have room in the floor again. I know, I bet you're wondering, how in the world can you keep doing this, Tessie? Well, now all winter long, we're gonna be eating out of here, so it'll get less and less and less. This is when my rooms are at the fullest because of all of the harvesting and all of the canning I've been doing. So we have 2 shelves left here. Now these are rinkety-dink shelves, so I don't want to put too much weight on everything, but it should work just fine. Yes, I am double stacking my jelly. All right, So one other thing I want to do is, when I was going through all of my food, I found this bucket. And it said in it different spices. My granddaughter wrote on it. But I want to get everything out of here. I want to see what actually is in here. Barley. I didn't know I had barley. So I'm going to go ahead and get these things out of here and use them. So this stuff I'm going to put in my pantry. All out. All right. And I'll show you what this looks like. I have to work in my other pantry, but it might be really dark in there. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, but I'll let you see what I did. And here you go, everyone, is my full pantry for the year 2021. It's my own personal grocery store. You name it, I got it. It's a very comforting feeling. You know, you have so much. You work so hard, but you have so much to show for it. Grandma Fanny would be impressed. Now, while this looks like a lot of food, it really isn't. This is nothing compared to how the Amish can. It goes the whole way over there, the whole way up, and the white rug makes it complete. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Hi everybody, it's Homestead Tessie with another product review, and this is the Life Wit, and this is a rug. And this is a smaller rug. It is more plush. It is white in color, and it is beautiful. And the backing is very well made. A very nice rug and very, very soft. You can put this anywhere in your home, not just your bathroom.